Welcome back to your #1 adopt for Pso2 New Genesis information, new gameplay reviews, other MMO, a bunch of stuff here on the channel, and I am back today to talk about the roadmap coming into NGS here in the next, well, at the time of this video, we're going to get information about it in about 2.5, 3-ish days, and I am here to discuss some of the stuff I am hoping to actually see in that roadmap, and hopefully some of the stuff coming back from Bait PSO. But before we hop into all that, if you haven't already, make sure you do the thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells if you find it useful, or you just wanna, help me fill in the empty wall that now is it behind me. It's a long story. Anyway, moving on from that, let's get into some Pso2 New Genesis hypothetical stuff that I want to see coming soon. So starting this off, we do know we are going to get some more information about the roadmap coming up on the headline stream, and if you want to check that out, I will be covering it here on the channel the morning of, as well as streaming it as well here on the channel. So once again, do the thumbs up for that. But with that, we do got some stuff that we know we're going to be talking about, such as the summoner stuff, as well as whatever that gun quack going to be with Lutter, and then also I imagine a hint at what zone is to come after we get done with the desert. We probably won't know specifically with one, but more than likely a new zone will drop next year and will probably be a throwaway line in the roadmap. But as far as some of the other stuff, like I said, I hope we see that will help make the game a lot better here. Let's go ahead and start off with the main thing here, which is called the dreads. As we have seen from previous headline stream, we are going to be getting some brand new dread enemies coming into New Genesis, as well as, we always have the ones that are available inside New Genesis as of now. And the fourth thing on the list, I would like to see something a little bit more to do with them, since at the moment they are pretty much tied to getting a few little augments here or there, or just fighting them for a little extra appearance, or tied to like a daily or so whenever we do get them. And I would want to see something a little bit more to them, and a little more reason to hunt them down beyond that. And the main thing I am interested in here is of course having items that are tied to the enemies, and not only items such as like some of the holiday items or some of the weapons we have seen, but like actually exclusive weapons and unit tied to that way it will actually be worth hunting and worth seeking out, might it be solo or in a party. And another thing that will hopefully make it a little bit better outside of that, if we don't get weapons, another thing I would like to see here is have specific items tied to the enemy that will be used to create new weapons. So think of it very similar to how we had it in like Monster Hunter, or very similar to how we had with like, I guess, Zig and Bait PSO, where we could collect the items and material of certain monster to then use to make certain weapons or unit, or certain set of cosmetic stuff for your character. But if we're gonna go that route, we are going to need a brand new NPC, which hopefully will come in the introduction of the desert area, and also give us a reason to travel there, since as of now it looks like the area gonna be very one-to-one with Central, and kind of needs some reason to not just teleport back to Central to, of course, deal with NPCs there, which by tying exclusive NPC to the new town. And by doing it, we will hopefully get, once again, a character symbol, the Zig, where we can go to trade in the item, the weapon, break down material, and actually start crafting new units. Since we did have crafting and Bait PSO, it wasn't exactly the most simplest thing under the sun to met with, but it was still there nonetheless, where you can create your own special moves and whatnot. And it would be nice to see that come in here, and also take, some type of farming of the dread enemies, as well as make a important character to actually have us all traveling to the desert city, and not just to drop it off to, of course, check the player shop or whatever. If you're quote to it, give some motivation to be there and something unique about it as well, and it would be a great way to do so, and also introduce some carrot on the stick function, especially when you start bringing in hunting down certain dreads at certain times, certain areas, and in return to add more replay value here for you or your party to, of course, go from zone to zone, hunting down the enemy. That way you can unlock some stuff that actually work your time, and ideally make it well this stuff is not something that you're going to flood the market, but something that will actually be useful and people would want to use. And then that brings me to my next point here, which is of course tied to the weapons itself. As of now, there are only really a handful of weapons in it, and most of the new weapons that we've been getting have been mainly coming either from holiday events or just being introduced, and in return could be scattered through many means. Might it be defeating low-level enemy, high-level enemy, it doesn't matter, weapons and units just kind of drop everywhere. So it would be nice to see them start cutting back on that a little bit and start making the weapons a little more exclusive. Like, for example, here is like tying like a sort of weapon set or to a actual origin quest. Might it be a new origin quest, might it be an old origin quest. Just having a way to have the tied back, and then also giving us the ability to change what setting we want to play, like in the case of the origin quest is on, since we did have like normal, hard, and so on in bait PSO, it would be nice to get that to come back in, or just make it well winks and your actual waiting at the end of the match it actually matter, because as of now it just does not matter at all. You're going to pretty much get the same equipment any if you get like the lower rank to the higher rank. So any if they don't introduce like hard or difficult setting, it still be nice to be like, hey, if you want that weapon set, that will require you to get an S rank on this origin quest, or tie it to, once again, tying back to the crafting stuff, have it be might be an item that you need to get X up to unlock this set, and just having something in there to add more weapons, more cosmetic, as well as just adding more content and more reasons to do better at content, or try to, you know, actually do it better. Because as of right now, there is no real reason to be motivated to do more than the bare minimum to actually defeat the enemies. And in the case of more origin quests and whatnot, nothing really put up a challenge at all. So any if you do fail or get a lower rank, you get some of the items, that is fine. But elite reward the people who are going out of the way to figure out the best way to play their character. Might it be in gear, might it be in actual equipment, and also have a carrot on the stick for a player who want to actually make better loadout and better equipment to actually motivate us to do better at far of in combat. And hopefully that will round up some of the difficultness as well. And once again, add another carrot on the stick. And then we have our levels. Since we're all going to be getting a level jump up here in December with the desert update, we are going to be going up to level 35. So obviously, as we roll into the new roadmap, we will probably have a part where it'll be another level jump, more than likely probably to either 45 or 50. And with that comes a whole bunch of little issues that is already in play. Any at doing 1 to 20 right now in base Pso2 New Genesis before we even get the desert, which is called the repetitiveness of the grinding. Since as of now, getting to 15 is not really that big of a deal, but 15 to 20 is very repetitive with the whole running around defeating the same monster in the lab or the forest, and honestly needs some work here. Hopefully that will change when we get into the desert. I have a feeling it probably won't, which lead me back into I get two-part here, which is called letting up replay missions. Might it be side missions, might it be actual story missions. Especially as we get more and more story introduced every 6 months to a year, it would be nice to be able to replay the main story mission to get caught up on what was happening and where we left off. as well as being able to replay past client order from just normal NPCs to help us get a little extra affiliate to help us, of course, actually level up here where it's not so repetitive. And also, it would be nice to get a refresher on some story stuff, especially for players that might drop off for months or years before coming back before a big update. And speaking of leveling, something else that will be extremely helpful here, which will be, of course, dealing with like the walls and the towers that is already in the game itself, which kind of come back into play for the ranking system. It would honestly be very nice if, in the case of these, we had them, well, instead of beating them, getting a star rating, and then getting the same old affiliate item. Same problem we already talked about. It would be nice to actually have it where we will have actual stuff tied to the star system. In one way, it would be nice to actually have it, well, every star you collect, might it be, doing the picking up the packages, defeating certain enemy, the normal missions we already see inside of walls and towers. It'd be nice if they actually start mattering, being like, hey, star 1 it worked like 10 times the affiliate, 2 star 20, and so on and so on. And then make it tied to the better stars you get, or the more stars you get. In return, you start getting more affiliate, more item. Might it be like 10% to well drop rate, and start actually throwing like cosmetics into this. So might it be like past AC items after a couple of months. Start throwing them in here as like a low % drop to actually playing that content. Because as of now, the content is pretty much do it once, you're done. You get your skill point, you move on, and you never touch the content again. It'd be nice to actually have this as a possibility for leveling, a possibility for old cosmetic or items or weapon, as well as with the timer, actually introducing a proper leaderboard so you can compete with other people around inside your ship to actually get better scores and built a little bit of competition there, since we did kind of have this in Pso2 where we had like weekly that for like who destroyed the most boxes. We also had like the Arc League stuff. It'd be nice if the timer actually would play something a little bit more than personal bet, because let's be honest, how many people are probably getting sucked in by trying to get personal bet in a wall when you go there, you get your kill point, you move on. So having not only the star system come into play in Battle, but having the time Battle as well for these would also be fantastic. And it'd be nice if we will get a Tower and Wall giant update coming here in 2022. And then, as well as leveling, let's go back to leveling just for 1 second here. Another thing that would be fantastic, not only for leveling, but also another type of game mode here to add some variety to Pso2 Genesis here. Since let's be honest, if we're going to be going 6 months between big expansions, there's going to be a lot of repetition here and there, and we need content to fill the gaps between these 6 months update. And then bring me back to something else from Bait PSO, since as of now, it seems like a lot of Bait PSO content is just slowly migrating into New Genesis. So let's bring back the actual quests and missions and zones from Pso2. I'm not meaning bring them over like wholesale from Pso2. What I mean is the way they function in Pso2. So for anyone who wasn't aware, in Bait PSO, you would go to an NPC, or you would, just pick it from a list, and you will go into one of the many planets in the game, and you will enter a dungeon that is 100% randomly generated. Sometimes, some better than others, but the level itself is randomly generation in the structure of how the maps are laid out, as well as what enemies actually spawns in them. And it would be nice for that type of content to come back. And also, at the end of these dungeons, you would fight a boss and then come home with your, whatever items you got from doing this. So, this is something that would be fantastic inside New Genesis. Say we actually did find, like, actual dungeons in the environment, like actual instance, or might it be, like, VR training or something of the sort. It would be fantastic if we had some way of entering a area that is instant off, might it be 4-player, might be 8-player, and have it be 100% randomly generated on map design here, so we can just go through and use this as not only another plate to farm up items and experience, but also something else to hopefully help with leveling, as well as something to just be actually co-op focused. Since as of now inside New Genesis, co-op is not that great, let all be honest here. Especially with how all the zones are broken up into like instance already and separated out into different zones. Trying to actually play with friends might be exploring the map, hunting for shiny, hunting for dreads. It is just not fun because it's so easy to lose track of your team. It's so easy to get separated into separate instances with your team. So the only time co-op really seems to really matter in New Genesis as of now is, of course, when you are either leveling in the lab, the fort, or up in Mount Magnet, or you are doing origin quests. So it would be nice to be like, hey, gather up some friends and go and enter the instant dungeon and actually play a dungeon that is different every single time. Might it be still themed to whatever it might be? Example being like, you know, a desert dungeon will be themed like a desert. Alio will, you know, be, you know, similar to what Alio looked like. It would be a fantastic way to just add something to do with our friends, as well as something that we can also, like that, just level off up. So, them are the things I want to see that will hopefully come to a New Genesis in 2022, or at least be mentioned in the roadmap. I have a whole bunch of other ones, but we'd be here all day if we go into everything I would love to see in New Genesis. But if you enjoyed that video, let me know by doing the thumbs up and commenting below. And who knows, maybe I will do another one of these where we just break down some interesting mechanic or game modes that would be fantastic to see inside of NGS. And while you all are down there, let me know all your opinion. Make sure you do the thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells, and of course, if you want to be like all the wonderful folk you see on screen right now, make sure you hit that wonderful join button below as well, and join memberships here on YouTube, or by coming over to patreon.com/Macon. Or actually, I got another thing. If you want to watch over on Twitch, you can do so at twitch.tv/TroyMacon. And I do stream as of now for the rest of this year every single day right here on YouTube and Twitch. And don't forget, I will be streaming in the headline stream starting about 15 minutes till, and we will be breaking down all the news together live, as well as the content coming after the fact here on the channel as well. And with that, that will go ahead and do it for me. So, with that, I will see you all in the comments. And I really need to do something about that void. This is very distracting. I can't be the only one, right?